This investigation is one option to fulfill the requirements of the Curriculum Expectations SNC1D C2.4, SNC1P C2.7, and the Scientific Investigation Skills A1.5, A1.6. Teachers should consult the relevant MSDS sheets before considering this investigation. Prior to beginning the investigation, teachers are reminded to discuss fire safety procedures with their students, including the location and use of fire extinguisher, any potential dangers associated with this activity, and the need to carefully follow the instructions and example of the teacher. Prepare the investigation by having all materials needed on a cart that you can move into the classroom so that each group has the appropriate materials. The stock containers are not for use in the classroom, but for preparing for the student investigation and should be removed before students enter the classroom. Use a clean, dry scapula to select pieces of calcium for the investigation. The test tube, filled with water, will collect the hydrogen gas produced. Use a clean, dry scapula to take a small amount of manganese dioxide out of the stock container and place in the 100 milliliter beaker. Add wax sealer. Pour 6 milliliters of fresh 3% hydrogen peroxide into a graduated cylinder and then into the empty test tube. Seal with parafilm and place it in the test tube rack. There are two possible tests for the product gas, carbon dioxide. Both will be shown here. Use a clean, dry scapula to put sodium bicarbonate into the clean 250 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask. About 1/4 of a scapula is sufficient. Pour 30 milliliters of white vinegar into a graduated cylinder and then into the empty 400 milliliter beaker. You should always ensure that the rubber guard on the graduated cylinder is properly positioned to protect against breakage. Pour about 75 milliliters of lime water into a graduated cylinder and then into a 250 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask. Prepare the flame for the tests. Use a candle with a barbecue lighter. Fill the test tube with tap water. Cover the top of the test tube with a small strip of paper or cardboard. Over the beaker, invert the test tube with the strip. Place the test tube in the water and remove the strip. Use a clean, dry scapula to lift some calcium pieces to drop in the water. Quickly move the test tube mouth over the calcium. Angle the test tube so that hydrogen gas can displace the water. When the test tube is about 1/3 full of gas product, remove it from the calcium. Remove the test tube from the beaker. The remaining water drops away, allowing air to enter the test tube. This is necessary for the gas test to work. Prepare the burning splint. Move this to the mouth of the test tube. The pop is distinctive to hydrogen gas. Use a clean, dry scapula to scoop some manganese dioxide from the beaker. Add the manganese dioxide to the fresh 3% hydrogen peroxide in the test tube. The reaction will begin quickly. Prepare the glowing splint as the reaction continues. When the hydrogen peroxide reaction subsides, test the gas produced. Insert the glowing splint into the mouth of the test tube. The ember reignites. This is a distinct test for oxygen gas. To produce carbon dioxide gas, add about half of the vinegar to the Erlenmeyer flask with the sodium bicarbonate. The reaction will proceed quickly. Carbon dioxide is denser than air and stays in the flask. Prepare the burning splint and insert it into the Erlenmeyer flask. The flame is extinguished, which is one test for carbon dioxide. A distinctive test for carbon dioxide is the lime water test. Add the stopper with the rubber tubing to the flask with the sodium bicarbonate and vinegar. Drop the other end of the rubber tubing into the lime water flask. Carbon dioxide enters the lime water and makes it cloudy. Students can use a test tube instead of an Erlenmeyer flask for this test.